most star-studded of schedules, obviously, for the two-time defending champions, but the media has voted, and 181 or 62% of the first-place votes from the SEC media days all going to the Georgia Bulldogs to win the conference. Alabama a distant second, LSU a distant third.
That, to me, is the more interesting argument.
Alabama or LSU in the West?
That's the more interesting of the two, and I don't know that it's all that close.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't have anybody that can beat you. LSU's going to be pretty good. I will say this, that opening week tilt between Florida State and LSU is going to tell you which one of these is a dark horse national championship contender.
Mm-hmm. Well, any chance it's as good as last year's?
Oh, I think it'll be better than last year's.
How is that possible? Last year it came down to a blocked extra point.
It did, but it was a blowout for three quarters, and then Florida State laid down like an old cat next to a radiator. But now both of these teams are actually good.
Mm-hmm.
LSU was not good early in the season.
They were not.
Florida State was not particularly good early in the season. They both got better as time went on, and they both return a lot.
That they do. The naysayers for Georgia, obviously focusing on the quarterback position. No more Stetson Bennett. Can Carson Beck come in and be the guy to continue to lead this team to national championships? And again, it's a system that doesn't rely on the quarterback. Right? You don't need a great quarterback to run this system. I mean, I believe Stetson showed that.
Yeah, but he played like a great quarterback.
He did.
He's not, but he played that way. So you have no fear of a regression whatsoever. You just, we'll walk through it again.
To me, it's hard to find one.
It's hard to find the losses.
You could be right. You go through that schedule and tell me who they're going to lose to. Tennessee, I'll give you that one. That's going to be a challenging game.
And I don't know that they can replace all those receivers.
Yeah. I don't know that they can either.
And the Joe Milton love off one game is making my brain hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, ESPN put out an article, I believe it was yesterday. It's talking about the 14 players that could go one. Joe Milton was one of them. Like, stop.
Wow.
If Joe Milton goes one, it's because Caleb Williams, Quinn Ewers, Drake May, Michael Penix Jr., and there's probably another one I'm not thinking of.
J.J. McCarthy.
I don't get him either. I don't. A quarterback that never throws. Yeah, that's going one.
Quinn Ewers.
Fast. I said him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those four got lost in the Bermuda Triangle. That's the only way you could even convince me of that, and still I would say it's the most implausible thing I've ever heard somebody as smart as put out.
Yep. I just think Georgia's at that point. Georgia is at that point that Alabama's been at for years, and LSU to a much lesser extent, obviously with the tumult going with Ed Orgeron and then back into what's the coach's name now? Remind me, what's his name? LSU's
Brian
coach.
Kelly.
Brian Kelly, thank you very much.
I can't believe you forgot that. As much fun as we made it.
Right.
My family.
Well, they've been up and down, but they're always, they always get good recruits. But Georgia's now kind of at that. Kirby has said it best. The biggest thing I'm worried about is complacency, because you're now expected to. You're now expected to not only roll through the SEC East, but be the champion of the SEC, go into the college football playoff, and continue to win those games and make others look silly. I mean, I get that they didn't do that with Ohio State last year, and they probably should have lost that game. But they didn't. And then they absolutely put the beat down of the century, or of the history of college football, other than the Georgia Tech-Cumberland game, on TCU in the national championship.
Yeah, it was ugly.
Right. I don't see a reason why they can't do it again. They'll be there at the end of the year because the schedule's so soft. It just depends on is their schedule going to be so soft that they won't be prepared to play in the college football playoff against a Florida State or Texas.
I just don't know who they're supposed to be who they're supposed to be scared of.
Nobody.
This is a weird year in college football in that I think every single team on the high side is down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State with a new quarterback. Michigan you seem to lose a lot every single year. And at some point, it's going to catch you.
Mm-hmm.
And you go all the way down to Alabama. I don't even know who your quarterback's going to be.
They don't even know at this point. Still haven't named one publicly. Maybe Nick Saban knows in his heart of hearts who he's going to have, but we don't know who that's going to be. I mean, Georgia's kind of in the same boat, but you imagine that it's going to be Carson Beck because he's been waiting his turn behind Stetson.
Yeah.
But you also have Gunnar Stockton and another quarterback waiting behind him. Vandegrift. That's it.
Vandegrift.
Brock Vandegrift.
Yeah, it was the name you pulled out the other day, and I went, look at you.
Yeah, who will forever be the Joe Cox. I mean, like, he'll be the guy that never gets a shot unless the guy in front of him gets injured. Georgia's just got it 1 to 112 or how many ever damn players they keep on these rosters now. I mean, they have been able to recruit like nobody else.
Oh, but you got to look out for South Carolina. They'll quickly tell you, we figured it out.
What did you figure out?
Did you figure it out, though?
You got this just this unhealthy sense of euphoria out of a 6-touchdown performance against a Tennessee defense that was terrible in that game last year.
That didn't have their quarterback.
Yeah. What of that is supposed to make me do flips over what's going down with the Garnet and Black? I don't get it.
Yeah. You got a reason to be excited.
I have seen some prognostications from people in the SEC media belt that I respect that have South Carolina going like 11-2, and I'm just trying to figure out how that happens.
It beats me.
Because you don't get Ball State. We do.
Yeah. Georgia plays roast beef Tech 3 times.
That we do. We open up the season with UT Martin, and then Ball State immediately after that. And then you got all the SEC East teams, and we didn't end up with any of the hard SEC West matchups.
We're getting so close.
We are getting so close. I'm so excited. It is the sports.
We will have football Fridays starting in 5 Fridays.
This is ESPN Asheville. Coming up after the break, we'll give you the most important message of the day, plus the off-season files continue with a little old team from the NFC South that is expected to do well, but typically we expect they're going to disappoint.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Some slightly lower humidity coming into the weekend news. We're down in the mid-60s tonight. There's less rain around, less storm coverage, partly cloudy, comfortable low humidity Saturday, high 80, low 60. And then the chance for some hit-and-miss storms for the Sunday afternoon forecast and a nice break from the 80s, upper 70s Sunday afternoon. Monday, partly cloudy with a high of 81. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Light delays 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound, very busy between Fanning Bridge Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 westbound, then stop and go between Brevard Road and I-40. Future 26 eastbound delays between Riverside Drive and 240. 26 eastbound slow between Long Shoals Road and Airport Road. 40 westbound near Porter's Cove Road is slow. 40 westbound slow between the 26-240 split and New Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road northbound slow between Howard Gap Road and Fanning Bridge Road. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Total Support Plans are your tech plans for the unplanned with 24/7 PC protection against bugs, cracks, and hacks. Plans start as low as $199.99, plus now get up to $250 off select computers. In-store only. Offer ends July 29th. See an associate for details. Protect your tech at Staples.
Meet Joe A,
Hi.
Joe B,
Hello.
and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with AutoSave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect. Support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
The free iHeartRadio app covers the sports teams you love like no one else. Catch the latest breaking news, plus the upcoming NFL season's just around the corner. And iHeartRadio is your official podcast partner of the NFL. Make the iHeart app your go-to to stay up to date on all things in the sports world. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455 Care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com. It is ESPN Asheville, and it's that time, ladies and gentlemen, the time for the most important message of the day.
Don't do crimes.
That's right. Don't do crimes, and in this case, don't do crimes and then immediately turn around and do crimes, and then immediately turn around and do crimes again.
That's a lot of crimes.
67-year-old Monmouth County, New Jersey man is charged with robbing a bank. Now, what makes this interesting is that wasn't the first bank that he tried to rob. You seen that video? I don't know. Was it in Atlanta?
It was
I think
Atlanta,
it was, where a guy walks in to like a beauty shop or something. These people waiting like in a waiting room. Yeah, nail salon. And he walks in, pulls his piece, tells everybody, "I want your money.
Give me all your money."
And they just sat there and stared at him. Like,
Nope.
What are you doing right now?
No.
He stands there. He says it like 3 or 4 times on the security camera footage. And then he just kind of walked out the door like, oh, well, nobody wanted to
They
fear
said
me.
no.
Nobody wanted to fear me today. Well, the same thing happened with this 67-year-old man. He walked into one bank on West Kennedy Boulevard on June the 30th, handed the teller a note demanding the money, and the teller went, just denied to give him any money.
Nope.
And after standing there for a minute, he went, okay, well, I guess I got to leave. So he leaves the bank, walks straight across the street to the TD Bank, and holds them up. He was able to get away with like $1,500, which is weird because normally they don't report how much you can get in a bank robbery. It's just made off with an undisclosed amount of cash. But this story says they handed over $1,500 to the robber. He left the bank, and then they had to do the investigation to try to find this guy. Well, lo and behold, they did they did the investigation. They found the guy, and then they found out, well, he was actually he matched the description of a man who, days after the TD Bank was robbed and the failed robbery of the other bank, he also robbed a bank, allegedly, on another road on July the 6th. Don't you feel like if you walk into a place and you hold them up and they go, I'm not taking your money. Mm-mm. I mean, I get desperate times call for desperate measures, but wouldn't you at least go elsewhere? Like, wouldn't you go across town to try to rob another bank instead of going right across the street?
Well, I'm here.
Well, I'm here. I might as well go rob somebody.
My story also has to deal with bang bangs. It's from Promenade Temecula. It's a mall, Riverside, California. Man, on Monday, came to the mall to return an item. And when he came to return the item, it caused great pandemonium, including businesses locking their doors, employees hiding, and people falsely reporting on social media that there was an active shooter.
No.
So you ask, what was the man returning? Surely he was returning an actual firearm of some kind, or it's a toy gun. It's a toy gun. They had they had the little red thing on the end and everything. Now here's the saddest part of this: he was returning them to a airsoft shooting facility, which is in the mall. Look, I get that not everybody is as versed on bang bangs as I am, or as many of the rest of you are. If it has an orange tip on it, it's not a bang bang. It's a pop pop. Got a little pellet gun. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. Mm-hmm. The sheriff, Chad Bianco, said anyone returning a toy rifle should first put it in a case to avoid causing alarm. Who in the world carries a case for a
BB
pellet gun?
Yeah.
There's sometimes that people and their shocking lack of knowledge about bang bangs just blows my mind.
I guess you could put it in a guitar case.
I think the sitting president thinks anything could be a bang bang if you put it on a stick. Put it there, bang bang. Oh, there's times I look at this world and go, there's a lot of people that are just not smart enough to be in this world. But you are every day. Every day. Just keeps happening.
Taking up our air.
I didn't say that. You said that. Just saying the IQ of the average person seems to be falling on a daily basis.
It is the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Stephen Tao says a lot of crimes took place in the daily draft today. I think that was a shot at you.
I think it was a shot at you and the horrific band you took.
I don't know, seeing as how he was the one that said Nickelback. Anybody's better than Nickelback, but Nickelback's still better than Creed. I'm pretty sure that wasn't aimed at me.
Look, I can't help that Creed has not been appreciated in their own time. I'm hoping that this reunion tour, because surely we all know that this is not just going to be limited to the two shows on this boat. We got a 128 city banger coming up. Stadium shows for sure. I mean, they'll be coming right behind Luke Combs.
Oh God!
Like Luke, who's at I think he's at Gillette right now.
Yeah, they couldn't sell out McCormick Field.
Oh, 100% they could. 100% they definitely could. They got two at every event. Just me and HWA. She'd tag along for that. Mm-hmm. I think. I hope.
I'm gonna bet she wouldn't.
How many cities?
She won't tag along with you to see Oppenheimer in the movie theater. I guarantee you she's not going to go see Creed.
She would watch it. She just wants to see the Barbie movie. And I'm good. I am totally good.
Yeah. I mean, there might be a point where years from now or a year or two from now, I might watch it just because Margot Robbie's in it. But
that would be worth the price of admission, I believe. Stephen Tao in our YouTube comment said, Scott Stapp on a boat with an open bar. That ought to go well. Look, okay?
No, Jeremy's convinced that he's going to get him to relapse, and I am convinced that as soon as Jeremy gets on the boat and he gets so excited, and the first time he yells out, "Where's Scott Stapp? Let's go!" They're going to go, okay, you have two options here. You can stay as far away from the band as possible, or we can put you in this tiny little room and not let you come out for the rest of the trip because you're way too excited about this, and Scott doesn't do crimes.
They will see me and go, that guy gets it. The rest of the world doesn't get it. That guy gets it. As I wear my